MVP he normally is in the regular season, right? That's what we've been lamenting in the playoffs. He hasn't been. And what I've pointed out is it's because he's a big. Stephen A. pointed out initially.
Giannis might really be a center in a 6'11" player body. If you hear that noise, my son calling me. I have no peace.
He's really more of a 5 than a 3. Okay, so he's a big, he plays that way. And what do I religiously say on this show? Even Kareem needed.
In 2K, he got the basic dribble moves. He don't got, his ball handle ain't a 80. I think the threshold for pro dribble moves is an 80. He definitely can't speed boost. So he got like a 71 ball handle.
The guy on his level, Oscar or Magic. Otherwise, no chips.
You know that
Even Shaq needed a guy on his level, Kobe or a prime D Wade. Otherwise, no chips. That's what a big needs, a guy to get him the ball, a guy who can create his own shot, a partner in crime. Well, Giannis doesn't have that if he's facing a big 3 in Brooklyn. Middleton and Drew Holiday are not that compared to what KD has in Harden and Kyrie. But you take Harden and Kyrie out, all of a sudden, Middleton's the 3rd best player in the series. That actually elevates Giannis. Now he has a crime partner at least better than what the other guys got. And that's what he has here, too. Who's the 3rd best player in this series? Probably Chris Middleton. And by the way, who's the 4th? Given the composition of this series, Stephen A., given the fact that Drew Holiday has a track record, not just of defense, but of locking down, in particular, smaller guards. So if you point to Trae Young, oh, they got Drew Holiday. He can't do better than that on a little guy.
All jokes aside, if Drew Holiday don't lock up Trae Young, defense does not matter in the NBA no more. I swear. And the reason why I say that is because they call everything a foul. Like, a little slight bump can be called for a foul in the NBA. So my thinking is Drew Holiday has to play rough and be on top of your pause. Has to really be like body to body, hit the hip with Trae Young to really slow down Trae Young. Because if you get past you, it's a floater or a lob. If you step back too far, it's a shot. So it's like you have to be up and aggressive on them, and the NBA really doesn't allow that for some reason. So, once, like I said before, a few seconds ago, if Trae's still dropping like 25 plus a game in this series against Milwaukee, defense does not matter in the NBA no more. I don't care. I don't care no less.
So that, once again, elevates Giannis's importance. He is the best player in this series. At least if you look at their regular season track records, he needs to be that guy in this series for them to win. He's the most important player.
Have nobody to slow him down. Totally
no, I don't believe that. I believe it's Trae Young. And the reason why I believe it's Trae Young, Max, is because if Giannis just puts up a regular performance and the rest of the Milwaukee Bucks perform, Milwaukee's fine. Trae Young's holding their playoff hopes in his hands. He's got to be spectacular, not just as a scorer, but as a setup man for the other bodies. The Capellas of the world, the Collins of the world, the Herters of the world, all the others. Bogdanovich, of course. He's got to do it because that's their only hope. Outside of that, I see this series ended in 5 games. I think that Atlanta has surprised us. They didn't surprise us with the Knicks. They were the better team. I knew that, regardless of how I felt. But against the Philadelphia 76ers, to win games 1, 5, and 7 in Philadelphia, I did not anticipate that. They deserve a lot of credit for that.
See, ain't no backtrack. You know damn well you was expecting the Knicks to win that in 5 or 6. Talking about you wasn't surprised that Atlanta beat us in 5. No, don't do that. Don't backtrack now. Come on now. You was just hyping this up when you niggas is in the playoffs. Don't do that. Don't be that. Don't be that fan. Don't be that fan. You was just hyping shit up. Now all of a sudden you. Okay.
And then you look at Milwaukee. Milwaukee's just a Goliath against them. They're just too big. When they want to be, they can be stout defensively. Giannis going downhill. They have absolutely, positively no answer for that whatsoever. And on the defensive side of the ball, with Trae Young penetrating into the seams of the defense,
Clint got to guard a shooting 3 big again. All right.
And them could end up being Brooks Lopez even more so than Giannis, because what you have to do is somebody's got to stay at home to prevent those alley-oops from, being caught by Capella. But in the end, what it comes down to is this. When you got a Drew Holiday to defend, when you've got a Chris Middleton to defend, when you've got a PJ Tucker to defend for you, all right, on the defensive side of the ball for the Milwaukee Bucks, you're going to need Trae Young to be the creator, the orchestrator. If he's not that floor general for you, Milwaukee does, the Hawks don't stand a chance. They don't have a chance at all. You have a chance without Giannis because of the other pieces at play, particularly when a guy like Middleton is capable of showing up for a game and dropping 39 for you the way that he did against Brooklyn, okay? This guy proved to be a viable secondary option. Drew Holiday didn't even have a good series against Brooklyn, but he made some big shots down the stretch. PJ Tucker can really, really defend, and he's given them a personality transplant that was so desperately needed. You can find a way to beat Atlanta with the Greek Freak averaging 25 instead of 30, or being just a regular, ordinary, good talent instead of the great one that he is. Trae Young absolutely, positively needs to be great in order for Atlanta to have a chance in this series.
Yeah, I don't know if they win if Giannis is only okay. You know, the thing about Giannis that makes him different.
What is Stephen A. talking about? Giannis just has to be okay for Milwaukee to beat Atlanta. Atlanta is a shooting team. They shoot threes, bro. Them threes pile up when everybody's hitting. And you don't need Trae Young to hit threes just for you to win. And they proved that against Philly and the Knicks. Because there was moments when Trae wasn't hitting, but guess who wasn't missing? Bogdan wasn't missing. Herter wasn't missing. Gallinari wasn't missing. Like, bro, they have shooters. And I don't know if Hunter played, if he was hurt. I don't remember. I think he's hurt. He might be down for the rest of the playoffs, actually. But they have pieces that can shoot. So it's like, you can't necessarily say that. Because when they're hot, they're hot. And that's a team that's kind of difficult to stop when they're hot. Philly knows.
Than Ben Simmons from the last series because they have certain things in common. Ben Simmons more of an actual guard, has better handles and everything, an even better passer. Giannis is a good passer. But Giannis does not have like a psychotic problem shooting the ball. He's not a great shooter, but he will take a shot. And because he takes shots, he'll hit them 3 out of 10 times from the outside. That's the reason the Bucks have a chance, provided other teams don't have stars with second and third bananas better than Middleton and Drew Holiday. So no, Giannis's excellence is the reason you favor the Bucks here. If you make Giannis more like a Simmons who just won't shoot the ball, I probably like the Hawks, even with Middleton.
You can't make Giannis like a Simmons because Giannis is going to go to the basket eventually to try to get a bucket. Simmons he don't shoot, he don't go to the basket. All he got to do is pass the ball. He's nothing like a Simmons. It's not going to happen.
And Holiday. But Stephen A., if I take your point, I think it's a good point about what they need from Trae Young. He's got to play out of his mind for them to have a chance to win. But even then, I would look to a different player as the most important in that case, and that would be Drew Holiday. We've seen Drew Holiday,
well, first of all,
not against big guards, smaller guards, Stephen A. You can't do better than that defensively.
Well, first of all, let's understand something. Let's not lie to the American public on this morning, Max Kellerman. All my basketball points are good points. So that's number one. Let's just get that out the way right now. I don't make bad points about basketball. It's incredibly important, so thank you so much. That's number one. Number two, and more importantly, Max Kellerman, here's the deal. All of those things that we point out, we all understand this game, and we understand what Milwaukee's brought to the table because we've seen it. What I'm saying is what you've seen from Herter. Like, for example, Seth Curry is guarding Herter in Game 7. Clearly, Doc Rivers, Danny Green being out, you got to find somebody else to put on Herter because Seth Curry was undersized. Who's undersized on Milwaukee? It's not PJ Tucker. It's not Drew Holiday. It's not Chris Middleton. There is no undersized. So think about the advantages, okay? You have a situation where you get to put a bigger guy on Trae Young at all times. You get to put a guy at least who's the size.
Shooting is definitely going to be tough for the Hawks with all that length that Milwaukee has because they are definitely a tall team. But once again, I don't think it matters. Shooting is shooting.
Size of a Herter at all times. You look at a Collins, you look at a Capella. You got to deal with the Greek Freak and Brook Lopez down low. You got PJ Tucker and how strong-willed he can be. That's a person that could guard Bogdan out of the ball. The only person that's capable of taking advantage of it is a quick point guard who's so quick and so electrifying at times that he can ultimately facilitate for other guys to get them open shots. That's how you're going to have a chance to beat Milwaukee if you're Atlanta. Trae Young is your only hope, really. Thanks.
Well, that's the end of that. So y'all want more sports reactions? Of course, basketball. I'm not watching baseball, soccer, nothing like that. But any more reactions I will be doing. I'll be doing reaction to all types of videos at this point. Because, you know, we got to wait for 2K22 to drop. Anyway, man, hit the like button, subscribe. It's FLYBOIIANT. I'm out. How you end this?